What's up, everyone? I'm Alex from Boards, Bikes, and Hikes, and recently we had a new guy come to us at work, and he's interested in purchasing a kayak. And so me and my friend Kevin were like, oh, well, you need to just go look around over the weekend, see what you can get, what you can find, see what's out there. And, you know, we went on our way and went in to enjoy our weekend. So he came back, and he told us, he said, I started looking at them. There's a lot of different types of kayaks, and I really didn't know which one was best, and so he was asking us about our takes and recommendations. And so I wanted to make this video for anybody out there who's unsure about which type of kayak they're interested in purchasing for their first kayak, or maybe somebody who's looking into, potentially getting a different type of kayak, because different kayaks, I feel, are good for a different variety of situations. So I wanted to just pull from my personal experience. My wife and I tried several kayaks before we found the style of kayak we wanted to go with and inevitably wound up with now. So depending on your needs, your preferences, and different things, a different one might suit you better than another. So the one my wife and I went with is a sit on top, and we each got our own single kayak. So I'm going to start there. Our reasoning for going with the sit on top simply was, for us, it wound up being more comfortable. I like that my legs aren't down underneath something. I'm able to, sometimes hang my legs off the edge, put them in the boat. I can move my legs around. I just feel like I have a lot more freedom and movement. Also, we wanted to sit on top because there's a little bit more stability with the sit on top. So I feel like you sacrifice your agileness. It's not quite as mobile sometimes and maybe as maneuverable as a sit in, but you get a little bit more stability with the sit on top, and that was something we were definitely looking for. We're not, looking to do anything crazy. We're going for a leisure float with our friends, a good paddle, nothing crazy. So that stability really works for us, and it's, like I said, we like the comfort of it. Another perk was we, wanted to be able to take maybe our dogs from time to time, and there was no way we could do a sit-in with our dogs. We have a German Shepherd Husky mix as well as a Dachshund, and I just didn't think it'd be very comfortable. So, we tried the other versions, but the sit on top single, each getting our own boat was what we wound up settling on. The other style of kayak that we considered was the sit in. Now, the sit in, I do feel like, is a little bit more agile, it's more maneuverable, and especially like in rougher water scenarios, it's going to help you out a little bit more if you are maybe interested in doing a little bit more towards the rapid side than just the casual floats. The sit-in may be the one you're looking for. They're not uncomfortable, just for me. Like I said, we preferred the sit on top. Another thing we did look into and consider when we were kind of comparing the two was, say a snake got in the boat. And I know this is far-fetched, but I've seen it happen. Well, not in person, but I've seen photos and videos, and it's truly terrifying to me. In a sit on top, I'm able to either fling that snake off or bail. The sit inside, I honestly don't know what you do other than cry and maybe poop your pants. So another just little side note that I'm not going to say it totally swayed our decision one way or another, but something to consider. You never know. The third kayak that my wife and I did try was the Tandem sit-on-top kayak. Now, out of all the kayaks, this is definitely going to have the most stability. We tried it at Elkhorn Creek. We use them whenever we go to the ocean and they have rentals available, because you're going to want that extra stability in the ocean. It's really hard to flip a sit-on-top Tandem. They're so big, so stable. They're great for, in the ocean, obviously, waves aren't going to flip it. You could stand up and move around on a Tandem if you wanted to. I think they'd be great for, potentially families. A mom and a dad wanted to take their child out, and I think you could put the child in the middle, and it's going to give you, I feel like, more stability than a canoe. It'd be really great to be able to take your whole family out. We didn't dislike the Tandem. We just like to be able to have the freedom of us each being in our own boat. And drawback for us to the Tandem was you do have to paddle in sync, or your boat will kind of go crooked or sideways. And so when we did do a longer 6-mile kayak in the Tandem, it did get to be pretty exhausting, because I felt like we swayed from side to side quite a bit, and our path was not necessarily always a straight line, and you do have to kind of watch to keep your paddling in sync so that the boat moves evenly throughout the water. So those are just a quick couple tips to consider, a quick, very brief overview of the different types of kayaks. Like I said, for us, the sit on top singles wound up being the way we went. It also came with, like, ours is basically a fishing kayak, so a lot of fishers will use the sit-on tops because they're a little more stable, a little bit easier to reel a fish in, and, you know, a little bit more storage options and stuff, in my opinion. We've got a little rack in the back, and, you know, a wheel in the front, lots of storage. So again, if you have any questions about these 3 types of kayaks, these are just the 3 we tried, and, you know, maybe you're leaning one way more than the other, a great thing to do is if you have somewhere you can rent one, go rent one out, try it, and maybe go back and try a different one. You know, try your options before you buy. That way, you know, you're going to enjoy the most out of whichever one you do settle on. Buying a kayak doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, the whole point of a kayak is to have, you know, some relaxing, good, just fun, good times. You know, nothing stressful, just out there floating with your buddies, hanging out. And that's why we love doing it. So if you have any questions about looking into a kayak or anything like that, comment those down below. I'll do my best to help you out. Again, these are just the 3 types of kayaks we tried out before we made our purchase. We, you know, rented kayaks for 2-3 years before we finally settled on these. So, you know, don't rush it. Find one you like and go with it. Find one that's going to suit the needs that you have the best. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, please smash that like button. It's going to really help me out, and I'm going to really appreciate it. Again, I'm Alex from Boards, Bikes, and Hikes. You're more than welcome to subscribe. I post weekly videos, and I cover hiking, biking, kayaking, snowboarding, all sorts of things outdoors. I'm going to do a lot more travel and resort reviews and things like that of that nature. So see you guys in the next one soon, and happy paddling out there. Yee-hoo! Okay, now's when you got to be careful. Don't get turned